So you just picked up the new Instax Mini Evo Cinema, or you're thinking about it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the technical side of this camera, every dial, every setting, and the full setup process. We'll cover a bunch of stuff, how to load film, navigate the menu system, and exactly how to use the new cinema feature to record 15-second video clips and print them via a QR code, just to name a few. But in this video, you'll understand exactly how this camera works so you can start shooting with confidence. Quick note on the app. I will show you how to pair the camera to your phone in this video, but since the app has so many features, I'll make a separate dedicated video for that so we don't get bogged down here. Last thing, timestamps for this guy are in the description below. Let's get started. First, let's talk about some of the basics. The camera is approximately 1.6 inches by 5.2 inches by 3.9 inches and weighs about 9.5 ounces, excluding the weight of the film and attachments. I'll throw a list up of what should be included in your box. Now, let's talk about the physical features of the camera and what all those buttons, dials, and switches do. Starting from the front at the top and moving left to right, you have the recording light, charging lamp, and self-timer lamp, a selfie mirror, and the flash. The recording light lights up when you are recording a video. When using the self-timer feature, the self-timer lamp blinks. When charging the camera, the light turns on and then turns off when the camera is fully charged. If the light is blinking, that means there is a charging error. The flash has three modes: auto, forced on, and forced off. Auto means the camera decides when to flash. Forced on means the flash is always on. Forced off means the flash is always off. The flash has an effective range of about 1.6 feet to 4.9 feet. There is no hot shoe to connect an external flash. Moving down, you have the 28mm focal length lens with a fixed aperture of f2.0. It has a focus range of about 3.9 inches to infinity. I think this is a pretty good close-up distance for this hybrid camera. The lens is surrounded by the degree control dial. This is a dial that lets you adjust the intensity of the different errors. There are 10 different levels of intensity. I'm going to do a whole separate video just showcasing the different errors and intensities, otherwise this video will last forever. Below that, you have the Fujifilm logo, and below that, you have the shutter button. I like the fact that it is a wider shutter button. Half press the shutter button to get your camera to focus on the subject. If you see a green box on top of the subject, that means the subject is in focus. If you see a red box, that means your camera hasn't focused on the subject. Once you're happy with the focus, fully press the shutter button to take the picture. You also use the shutter button to record video. Thing of note, if your internal memory is full, the shutter button won't work. Below the shutter button, you have the MicroSD card slot cover. If you open it, you can see the USB-C slot. This slot is only used for charging. You can't transfer data. Speaking of charging, this camera has a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. I'm always on the fence about this type of battery. On the one hand, it's nice to not have to buy new batteries all the time, but at some point, the built-in battery won't hold a charge. Then the camera is either useless or you have to try and find some way to replace it. Now, I have heard that the battery is replaceable, but I'm not sure how easy it will be or how easy you'll be able to find a battery. It takes about 2 to 3 hours to fully charge the battery. One charge will let you take about 100 photos. I haven't been able to find how many videos you can take per charge. According to the manual, the battery is good for about 300 charges. Below the USB slot, you can see the microSD card slot. It can handle microSD, microSD-HC, and the microSD-XC cards. The Evo Cinema can use cards up to 256 gigabytes. For still photos, you can save about 800 images per 1 gigabyte of storage. For video, you can save about 162 15-second clips per 1 gigabyte. If you're using the 2020 errors option, you can only save about 37 15-second clips per 1 gigabyte. This is due to the increase in file size for the 2020 option. If you're not using a microSD card, you can only save about 50 still photos or 10 15-second clips on the internal memory. Thing of note, you cannot save any videos shot with the 2020 errors option if you don't have a memory card inserted. The last thing under the microSD card slot cover is the reset button. Use this button to reset your camera if it's acting up. Thing of note, if you press the reset button, you may lose your photo or video data. On the right side of the camera, you'll see the Instax Mini Evo Cinema and Instax logo at the top. Moving down, starting from the left, you have the on and off button. Thing of note, if you leave the camera idle for about 2.5 minutes, it will automatically turn off. To the right of the button, you have the still and Cine toggle, and directly below that, you have the frame toggle. The still and Cine toggle lets you switch between shooting photo and video. The frame toggle lets you turn the arrow-related frame on and off. To the right of those toggles is the gen dial. The gen dial is used to switch between the different errors. Think of the errors as filters for your videos and photos. There are 10 eras, starting at 1930 and ending at 2020. Each time you turn the Gen dial to go to a new era, you will see the new era on the left-hand side of the screen. Now, there is a several second delay as the camera switches eras. It's not a deal breaker for me, but something to be aware of. If you adjust the intensity of the era effect, you can see which level you are at via tick marks on the left-hand side of the screen. Moving back left under the on and off button and the frame toggle, you have the print lever. You turn the lever counterclockwise to print a photo. There is also a little arrow that tells you which way to rotate the lever to print your photo in case you forget. To the right of the print lever and below the Gen dial is the zoom lever. It allows you to zoom in and out while you are shooting. The zoom is a bit choppy, so I hope that they can fix that with the software update. On the back of the camera, starting from the top, you have the 1.5-inch LCD screen. The viewfinder attachment just snaps on. Cool thing about the viewfinder attachments is that it magnifies the screen, which can help you see the screen more clearly. Below the screen, starting from the left, you have the back button. To the right of that, you have the menu button. Below those buttons, you have the button/command dial and the OK button in the center. Finally, below the button and command dial, you have the playback button. You can use this button to play back stills or video. Simply fully press the shutter button to return to the shooting screen. At the very bottom, you have the strap eyelet. This is how you connect the included camera strap. Let's keep going to the side of the camera and you will find the film door lock and film door. I do like the texture on the film door and the fact that the door has Instax engraved on the side. If you want to open the film door, simply slide the film door latch to the right. The film door should pop open. The top of the camera has a film ejection slot where your photos come out. The bottom of the camera contains a standard tripod mount. This mount can be used for a tripod or to attach the grip attachment. The grip attachment does not have a separate tripod mount. Alright, let's get ready to use your camera. Before you try to use your camera, I recommend charging it first. Now your camera will likely have some charge right out of the box, but I always recommend fully charging your camera before setting it up. In order to charge your camera, you need to open up the MicroSD slot door cover. Then take the USB-C cable included in your box or one that you have and plug it into the camera and into a wall brick, a power bank, or even your computer. If you are going to charge via your computer, plug it directly into the computer, not a USB hub. If your computer goes to sleep, the camera will likely stop charging. Also, depending on your computer, it may not be able to charge the camera. Once you start charging your camera, the charging lamp should light up. The light should go out once it finishes charging. If you turn the camera on while charging, you will see a little battery icon with a lightning bolt in the middle of it in the bottom right hand corner of the LCD screen to indicate the camera is charging. When the camera is not charging, the battery icon will just have bars in the middle to represent the charge level. Now that your camera is charged, let's talk about setting up your camera. The first time you turn on your camera, you will see the option to select the language. I speak English, so that's the language I selected. Next, you should get the option to set the date and time. Then you'll actually be able to start taking photos or shooting video. However, remember, your camera can only internally hold 50 images or about 10 video clips. If you want to expand the amount of photos and videos your camera can hold, you need to add a microSD card. I highly recommend using a microSD card with this camera. I also recommend adding film to your camera as well. Adding film is pretty straightforward. Slide the film door lock to the right until the film door pops open. Open your pack of film and remove it from the silver packaging. Line up the yellow sticker of the film cartridge with the yellow sticker inside the camera. The film cartridge should then fall in place. Once the film cartridge is inside the camera, close the film door and ensure the film door lock slides back into the lock position. The black protective film sheet should automatically eject from the camera. We're going to skip pairing this camera to the app for now, but stay tuned to learn about this process later in the video. Now, the fun part, taking a photo or video. In order to take a photo, make sure you're in still mode. To use this mode, turn the camera on and switch the still Cine toggle to still. Use the Gen dial to select the errors effect you want. Use the frame toggle to either apply or deselect the errors effect you want. Look to the viewfinder and compose your shot. When you think you have the composition right, half press the shutter button. The camera will try and focus on what it thinks the subject is. If the camera is able to focus on the subject, a green box will pop up over the subject. If the camera cannot focus, a red box will pop up on the screen. This camera does have film detection, so a green box could pop up over a person's face. If there are multiple people in the frame, the green box will pop up over one face and a white box will pop up over the secondary faces. Once you're happy with the composition and focus, fully press the shutter button to take the photo. The image you just took will stay on the screen for a few seconds after. In order to take a video, make sure you are in Cine mode. The way to do this is just like with still, turn the camera on, and then make sure the still Cine toggle is switched to Cine. Look into the LCD screen, compose your shot. If you have pressed the shutter button, the camera should focus, but you won't necessarily see a red or green focus box pop up. Fully press and hold the shutter button to start recording. As you record, you'll notice a gauge at the top of the LCD screen. It fills as you get closer to 15 seconds. When there are 3 seconds left for recording, the gauge will turn red. When there is 1 second left, it will start to flash. Reminder, this camera will stop recording automatically once you hit the 15-second mark. When you release the shutter button, the video recording will pause and the last captured clip will play back. A notification will pop up that asks if you want to save the current video or retake the last clip. If you have pressed the shutter button, you can shoot your next shot. Cool thing, when you go back to the screen to record the next clip, you can also change the errors effect. Thing of note, you can change how the shutter button reacts when recording video. I'll discuss that in the menu portion of this video. Now, let's talk about the 3 different modes of this camera: video recording, still image, and playback. The video recording mode can also be called the Cine mode. Before we start recording, let's talk about what you'll see on the screen. Right off the bat, you will probably see only icons on the right hand side of the screen. You should see a photo icon and some tick marks beside it. This lets you know how many prints are left. The icon below that lets you know whether you're in still or Cine mode. The last icon is a battery icon, and that lets you know what your battery level is. If you press the menu button, you should see the direct menu pop up on the left hand side of the screen. From this menu, you can adjust the brightness through exposure compensation, adjust the volume of a sound effect, use a video light, save video, or go to the settings. You use the command dial to go through the direct menu and press OK to open an option. So, if you want to change the brightness of your video, go to the exposure compensation icon and press the OK button. You should then see an exposure compensation range that you can choose from. The EV range for this camera is +2 EV to -2 EV, with 1/3 increments. The adjust the volume of a sound effect option does just what you think it does. You press the OK button while the icon is highlighted, and you can increase or decrease the associated sound effect. The video light option only lets you turn the light on or off. There is no auto video light where the camera decides when to use it. After recording a video, you can press the menu button and then scroll down to the save and complete option, and this will save the clip you just took. Finally, if you go to the sprocket icon, it will take you to the menu. Because this applies for both video and still modes, I'll talk about the shooting settings menu in a separate section. While in video recording mode, if you press the back button, the video recording information will pop up. Starting from the top, you will see the time and date, and to the right of that, where the camera is connected to the app. Below, you have a list of information: which errors filter you're using and what intensity, your exposure compensation, which sound effects you're using, the status of the flash, how many still photos can be added to the memory, how many video clips can be added to the memory, how many prints are left, and the print mode. We've talked video, now let's talk photos. The photo mode can also be called the still mode. Just like with the video recording mode, let's talk about what you'll see on the LCD screen. Similar to the video recording mode, press the menu button for the direct menu icons to pop up on the left hand side of the screen. Starting from the top, you'll see the following icons: exposure compensation, self-timer, flash, white balance, and settings. For exposure compensation, press the OK button when the icon is highlighted. This will give you the exposure compensation range from +2 EV to -2 EV with 1/3 increments. If you select the self-timer icon, you can choose for the self-timer to be off, on for 2 seconds, or on for 10 seconds. The flash icon lets you choose between the off, forced, or suppressed options. The auto icon lets you choose between the following white balances: auto, fine, shade, fluorescent light, and incandescent light. The sprocket icon will take you to the shooting settings menu. Like I said, I'll talk about that exact menu a bit later in this video. On the right hand side of the screen, you'll see a photo icon and some tick marks beside it, letting you know how many prints are left. The icon below that lets you know whether you're in still or Cine mode. The last icon is a battery icon, and that tells you your battery level. While in still photo shooting mode, if you press the back button, you will see the still photo information screen. Starting from the top, you see the time and date, and to the right of that, where the camera is connected to the app. Below that, you have a list of information: which errors filter you're using and the intensity, your exposure compensation, which self-timer option you're using, status of the flash, which white balance you're using, how many still photos can be added to the memory, how many video clips can be added to the memory, how many prints are left, and the print mode. The last mode I want to talk about is the playback mode. This is a mode where you can see the photos and videos you've previously captured. To use this mode, turn the camera on and press the playback button. It doesn't matter if you're in still or Cine mode. Tip: While in playback mode, if you use the zoom lever, you can switch between a single image or video display and a 4-frame image or video display. What you see on screen is similar to the other two modes. As always, press the menu button to show the direct menu on the left-hand side of the screen. Starting from the top, you see a trash can icon, a photo icon, a speaker icon, and a sprocket icon. If you click on the trash can icon, the option to delete an image or video or go back pops up over the photo or video. In order to delete an individual still photo or video, press the OK button on the delete option and it will be deleted. If you want to delete multiple videos or images at once, make sure you're in the 4-frame display mode. Remember, the way to get here is to be in playback mode and then use the zoom lever. From there, press the menu button if necessary, press the trash icon, select the photos or videos you want to delete by pressing OK. A green check mark should show up in the upper right hand corner. Continue selecting photos or videos until you have picked all the ones you want to delete, and then press the trash can icon again. Press the OK button and the photos or videos will be deleted. If you no longer want to delete something, hit the back button to go back to the previous screen. You can also press the shutter button if you want to go back to a shooting mode. If you click the photo icon, one of two things should happen. The camera will either start you on the process to printing a photo or a photo for your video, or you will get a warning message that there is no film in the camera and to add a new pack. If you click on the speaker icon, you can change the volume of the video playback. Finally, if you click on the sprocket icon, it will take you to the playback settings menu. There's one more icon that may pop up with a photo or video, and that's a photo icon with the check mark. This icon will only pop up if you already previously printed a photo or video. On the right hand side of the screen, depending on whether you're in still or cine mode, you'll see the same photo icon with tick marks, the camera or video icon, and the battery icon. So just like with the still and cine mode, if you are on the playback screen and then you press the back button, you'll get the playback information, and this is information related to the image or video that is on the screen. And so starting at the top, you have the time and date, and then to the right of that, you have whether or not the camera is connected to the app. Below, you have some information. Print mode, you have how many prints are left, you have the number of shots left in the memory, you have the number of video clips left in the memory, you have the errors and intensity, you have the exposure compensation, you have whether or not the sound is on or off for the clip if it is video, and you have whether or not the video light or the flash is on or off for the video. Now let's look at a photo. So we're going to press the back button, and again you have the time and date at the top, and then to the right of that, whether or not the camera is connected to the app. You have the print mode, the number of prints left, the number of still photos you can add to the memory, the number of video clips you can add to the memory, the errors and the intensity, the exposure compensation, whether or not the self timer was used in this, the flash associated with this photo, and then the white balance. Okay, so you've taken your photos, hooray, and you're ready to print. I think this is pretty straightforward. 1, make sure you have film in the camera. If you don't know how to add film, go to the adding film section in the description to learn how. Immediately after the photo is taken, you can use a print lever to print the photo. If you want to print a photo you previously took, press the playback button. When the photo pops up, you should see a little banner that has a print lever icon. Then turn the lever and your photo should start printing. Now, printing photos are easy, but what about printing videos? Now you may be thinking, Shay, how is that possible? It's easy, let me show you. First, press the playback button and select the video you want to print. Now, here's the cool part. Go ahead and turn the print lever. Don't worry, it won't print just yet. This actually opens the frame selection screen. Use the command dial to scroll through your video frame by frame. This is perfect for catching that split-second smile or action shot from your video. Once you land on the exact frame you want, hit the OK button. Next, you'll see the QR code options on the left. You can choose which corner to place the code in. Note, if you select off, you'll just get a regular photo. The QR code is the only way to link the video to the print, so make sure it's on. Once that's set, turn the print lever one more time and your video memory will start printing. Alright, let's talk about the menu. I know menu deep dives can be a little dry, but they are important, so I've designed this section to be as fast and as useful as possible. There are actually 3 different menus depending on which mode you're in: video recording, still photo, or playback. To save us some time, I'm going to throw up a chart right now showing exactly which settings live in which mode. Feel free to pause here and screenshot this if you want a cheat sheet for later. Now, let's break down the specific settings you actually need to know. I've put timestamps for each one in the description so you can jump straight to what you need. Information. This submenu displays information on shooting settings. Shutter button settings for video mode. You can choose the press and hold to capture video option that will start recording when the shutter button is fully pressed and will stop when you let go of the shutter button. You can choose the press to stop recording option that will start recording when you fully press the shutter button and stop recording when you fully press it again. High quality video mode. This mode is only available if you're shooting with the 200 error option. This mode allows for high quality video recording and you can turn it on and off. Bluetooth settings. If you choose pairing registration, this allows your camera to connect to your phone via the app. You normally only need to do this once when you're first pairing the camera. If you choose delete pairing registration, this allows you to unpair your camera from your phone. If you select information, this allows you to see the Bluetooth address, device name, and paired registered devices. Print quality mode. This allows you to choose between Instax Natural and Instax Rich mode. The Instax Natural mode is for more natural colors, and the Instax Rich mode is for richer and more saturated colors. Instax Rich mode is the default mode. Print brightness. Here you can change the brightness of the printed image. ×1 is for standard, ×1.5 is for semi-bright, and ×2 is for bright. Date, time. This submenu allows you to set the date and time for your camera. Language. This submenu allows you to select the language shown on the LCD screen. Sound volume setup. This submenu allows you to set the volume of the operation sound, the shutter, and the startup sound. If you want to turn off the sounds, select the music note icon with the line through it. Auto power off. This submenu allows you to choose one of the 3 auto power off options: off, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes. Reset. This submenu allows you to reset your camera back to its factory settings. However, it will not reset the date and time. Format. This submenu allows you to format the internal memory or installed MicroSD card. Any photos or videos stored will be deleted. Firmware upgrade. This allows you to upgrade your camera's firmware. There are 2 ways to upgrade the firmware. To upgrade via this submenu, you'll need to download the latest firmware from the Fujifilm website and copy it to the root directory of a MicroSD card. Then insert that MicroSD card into the camera. Next, select the firmware upgrade submenu and follow the on-screen instructions. You can also upgrade the firmware via the Instax Mini Evo app. You want to make sure your camera is connected to the app. Then tap the device upgrade in the setup menu. Next, tap OK and follow the on-screen directions. Face detection. You can turn face detection on and off in this submenu. When this is turned on, the camera will detect a person's face and adjust the focus and brightness so that face is properly lit and in focus. Autofocus illuminator. You can turn the autofocus illuminator on and off in this submenu. When it's on, the autofocus illuminator lights up from the time the shutter button is half pressed until the subject is in focus. This makes it easier for the camera to focus on the subject in darker scenarios. Copy. This allows you to copy videos and still photos between the internal memory and microSD card. From this submenu, select the source and destination of copying and press the OK button. Then select frame for one or several photos or videos, or all frames for everything and press OK. After you press OK, the copying will start. Delete all images. This submenu allows you to delete all the still photos or videos from the internal memory and or microSD card. The last thing I want to talk about for this video is connecting the camera to the Mini Evo phone app. The app is available for download in the iOS and Android OS stores. Simply search for Mini Evo in your phone's app store. Once you find it, download it. From there, open up the app. It'll ask you for permission to allow certain things related to photo and video. You have to allow them. Next, it'll ask if you agree to the terms of use. Then you select your region and click Next. Click Next again, and then the privacy policy pops up. You don't have to agree to it, even though the manual tells you to tap Agree. Select the Instax Mini Evo Cinema and click OK. If your camera isn't already turned on, turn it on and go to the Bluetooth settings submenu. Then click on the pairing registration option. Go back to your app and you should see your camera pop up. When it does, click Connect. If, for some reason, there are multiple cameras, look at the bottom of your camera to find the camera identifier so you can select the correct one. The app has some cool features that I will go into detail about in my next video. Depending on when you're watching this, it'll be out within the next couple of days, if it's not already out. Whew, that was a lot. Is your brain exploding yet? If I've done my job, hopefully not. At this point, you should feel comfortable navigating the menus, loading your film, and using that new cinema feature. As I mentioned, the app unlocks a whole other layer of creativity, like transferring images and remote shooting, just to name a few. I'm working on that deep dive video right now, and it's going to be packed with details you won't want to miss. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right now. That way you'll be the first to know as soon as the app guide drops. In the meantime, if you have any questions about the settings I've covered today, drop them in the comments below. I'll be down there answering them. Until next time, keep practicing, keep having fun, and I'll see you in the next video.